Hi everyone, how are you doing? I am Victoria and welcome to Victoria.zip. In today's video, we are going to be talking what I made in 2023. I'm super excited because these are my kind of favorite videos. I love to see what people has done, and this time I get to do one myself. So yes, I'm super excited. We are going to be seeing some knitted and some crochet pieces. This was my first year as a knitter, so I'm really excited about it. And yes, let's get started. So I started knitting on February. I learned how to knit and how to purl, and I was feeling really confident of myself, and I wasn't feeling like doing a scarf because I don't really wear a lot of scarves. So I started looking online for patterns, and I found a free one with a YouTube tutorial, and I was able to make this, my first ever knitted piece, which is also my first ever knitted sweater. This is a step-by-step sweater by Handmade with Florence. As I mentioned, it comes with a free pattern and a YouTube tutorial. It's actually aimed for beginners, for you to be able to knit your first sweater, and I think it's amazing. I really love the pattern and the explanations are great. I mean, I didn't know how to do almost anything and I was able to make this. So I think it's amazing. I was able to do things like German joke rows or an Italian bind off, which I believe that are pretty fancy things, and I was a total beginner. So I think Florence is amazing. Thank you, girl. And well, I didn't mention, but I made this with La Seda from Círculo on the colorway 8001 Branco. This is an Aran weight yarn made with 70% acrylic and 30% wool. Even though it does have a high percentage of acrylic, this is quite soft and the quality is very good. Like, I worn this a lot and there is no peeling. Like, I swear to you guys that I didn't use the peeler, and this looks amazing. So I'm really impressed by this. I mean, it's a good price and it's a good quality of yarn, so I recommend it. Also, it's very warm. This sweater had two variations. One was the neck. You were able to do like this, a turtleneck, or one with a folded neck. I decided to go for the turtleneck because I love the look, but I kind of regret doing that now because I'm a sweaty girl, and you know, in winter I start to, this starts to get itchy and it doesn't feel really nice. So I think I should have gone for the folded one, but that's the only thing I would change about it. And then the second variation, I think I kind of mentioned before, it's the German job rows. There was an option to do it without them, but I was feeling confident, so I did the German job rows and I do not regret it because it does looks good. It fits really nice. So yeah. And for the following piece, I also follow a YouTube tutorial. I made this vest following the vest pattern by Mena Knits. This pattern does offer you some variants about the neck part here on the back, and I don't know which one of them did I follow because I didn't took any notes. But I love this vest. I have worn it quite a lot and it does look amazing, I must say. And I will also confess that this is the first vest I have ever had in my entire life, which I think is kind of crazy because I'm like 27 years old and I have never had a vest before. Not sure why. But yes, I love this vest. Some changes that I did to the pattern is that I had to do some math because it didn't fit me like the original one, so I had to do it bigger. And I also did this pattern checkered thingy, which was not in the original. I had to learn in Tarsha to do this. In some parts the tension is not that great, but I mean, I don't really care because it was my first time trying Tarsha and I love it. So if I love it, nobody else has to care about it. So the yarn I used to make this, it was actually from a sweater that I had crocheted like 2 years ago, but I didn't get to wear it a lot because the yarn is too bulky. And when you crochet things, they tend to end up being bulkier. So it was too much because this is acrylic, 100% acrylic, and well, it didn't felt great. So I decided to tear the sweater apart and do the best. And you know, maybe you have heard that crochet like devours yarn, and that's true. I was able to see it with my own eyes because after I finished this vest, I had so much yarn left that I was like, maybe I should try knitting a sweater, another one. And yes, I was able to do another sweater with the same yarn from the crochet sweater. This one is another step-by-step sweater by Handmade with Florence. I didn't need gauge here because, well, the yarn is way bulkier. So I had to choose a smaller size, but when I did that, I think I did something wrong because the arms are like way too wide compared to the body and to the other sweater I made. So I think I did some mistakes there. Another thing that I did here was the neck. As I mentioned, the turtleneck in the other one was a little bit too high for me. As this yarn was bulky, I didn't felt like doing a folded neck. So I just decided to do it like short, so it's not folded. So I actually didn't end up wearing this that much. And I think it's because it's too warm. As I mentioned, this is acrylic and it's not the nicest warm, but I hope to be able to wear it a lot more next winter because it's a cute sweater. I love how this pattern, which is random because I was like just trying to use the yarn I had left, and as you know, I did some color work on the previous sweater. The yarn was like in pieces, so that's why it has all these random stripes. But I think it does look super nice. It has like a retro vibe to me, and I love this sleeve which has like the really bulky stripes, and then this other which has just almost no stripes. I do think it has a great balance to it. So I hope next winter I'm more able to wear it. So my next project was a crochet blanket, which I don't have with me because it was a gift for a friend who had a baby. The pattern is also from YouTube. It was called the Baby Blanket by Brains Crochet. It's a pattern that it's in Spanish, but if you know how to crochet, you will be able to, get what she's doing there, because it's not hard at all. The yarn I used to make the blanket, it was the Naco Bebe on the colorway Denim 1256. It's 100% acrylic, but on the label it said it was like the proper one to make babies things, so that's why I wrote it. I also made like a little chip with some random scrap yarn I had laying around. It was supposed to be a pot holder, but they don't have to know about it. It's just a cute patch. The pattern for the jeep, I got it from a blog called Crochet for You. It was also free, so it's a cute patch you can add to anything, or maybe if you want you can do it as a pot holder. So after I knit 2 sweaters, I was feeling confident on myself and I decided to knit something I had seen all over my Instagram feed, all over YouTube, and I was obsessed with it. And it was the Ingrid Sweater by Pettieknit. I think you can see the pattern here because of the color I chose, but it is the Ingrid Sweater. So I made this with some random yarn a relative gave me. She gave me like a huge ball of this gray yarn, and I held it double with a sock yarn that I found on my supermarket, which was very weird because it was labeled in German. I wasn't able to understand anything apart from the fact that it was made from 70% acrylic and 25% polyamide, and it was called, let me check, Soccer Garn Uni by Jess, I think. I don't know which was the colorway. So I held those two together and I love it, the color it has. It's really appropriate for my wardrobe. The pattern, it does kind of get lost, but when I chose this color, I didn't mind that much because I thought I was going to make a lot of mistakes while knitting this sweater, but luckily I didn't. The pattern is very well explained. The mistakes that I did are because I wasn't paying attention and I was overconfident. So like I skipped some repetitions of the pattern, like here we have the crosses, which you are not able to see. Well, you know, the crisscross pattern that the Ingrid Sweater has is usually longer, but I did it shorter. But I don't really mind because this ended up being super long on myself, which I think is quite surprising because even though I made the stitches gauge, like the row one was quite off. So that's why it ended up being like super long. The issue, like the biggest issue I had was when working on the sleeves, and that's something I know many people struggled with, and there is like a video on Pettieknit's website, but I wasn't able to figure out what she was trying to explain there. So yeah, the arms, like the crisscross pattern in the arms is also a little bit messy, but nobody's gonna know, so who cares about it? I don't, at least. So the only change I think I did to this pattern was the neck band. I did it inspired, I think, by Knits by Mandy, because as I told you, I don't like things going up my neck, so I just wasn't feeling like the original neck, and I didn't like it that much. It wasn't my style, the original one. So when I saw that Mandy did like just like a simple 1x1 ribbing here, I felt like it was appropriate and I fancy that a lot more. So yes, this is my Ingrid sweater. I got to wear it quite a lot before the winter finish, and now it's going to be waiting till the winter comes back. I really miss winter. I didn't mention that I'm a southern hemisphere girly. So yes, that's why I'm wearing short sleeves and a dress right now. I hate summer, like I'm suffering right now. But let's get back into what I have done this year. Another thing I made this year was this bag, this beach bag. This is like a Prada knockoff. There are hundreds of patterns on Pinterest. I was looking for like a crochet bag and I found this one and I think it's super nice. It's big, very appropriate for this weather. But I'm not going to say that I like doing this because I hate doing this. Mostly because of the yarn I chose. This is 100% cotton, usually for macrame. I don't have idea which brand is it because where I buy yarn, sometimes they have like balls of yarns without labels, and yeah, this was one of them. So I'm sorry, I don't know what is this. I think it has like 32 strands because I counted them just because I wanted to know what I was working with. I use like a really big hook, like an 8mm one. The bag is cute, but as I told you, I wouldn't do another one because I didn't like working with such a thick yarn, cotton, and I don't like working with big hooks. So yes, so that was one of my projects, one of my crochet projects. And the next one is my favorite thing I have done this year. It's a knitted vest. Is this knitted vest? It's the Cherub vest by Annie Isabel Hall. This is a vest work on intarsia entirely. It has these two designs, one in the front and one in the back. The vest actually comes in just one size, so you have to play with the tension to get your proper size, but I think this pattern is worth it. Like, even if you have to think about it, it's totally worth it. It's so beautiful, it looks so great on me. Every time I see it, it's like, I can't believe I was able to do that. I know like the tension in some parts is like probably not the best. I don't know if you can see it, but here is a little bit like tense. I'm still in shock every time I see this. I actually did a reel and I uploaded to Instagram and it went kind of viral. Like, I usually get 100 views on my reels and this one got like 100,000 views. I was like, wow, I'm famous right now. So yes, this was knit with 100% acrylic. It was sock yarn. It's from a brand from my country called Vesubio. This was a veslon. I can say that the colors, but I don't think it's sold anywhere else. So the yellow, this one is the color 252. The orange is the color 1322, and the burgundy is the color 325. Okay, so what things did I do differently here? It's like the neck and the armholes. I finished this with just some double ribbing, double knitting and Italian bind off because that's the way I finish everything. I think every piece I do with that finish looks super neat and nice, and I can't imagine myself finishing things all the way. But yeah, that was like the only change I had to do to the pattern because the rest it's exactly as the original one. This was knitted flat, yes, I must say that, because it was kind of messy because I had like a lot of small balls of yarns, but even though it was super hard, I love and I will cherish this piece forever. The next piece I did was a free-handed crochet knitted vest. I was feeling like doing granny squares even though I hate granny squares. And I was quite inspired by quite a few tutorials and videos I had seen online. Like, I don't have like a main one. But the issue is that as I hate doing granny squares, I didn't do enough granny squares, and this thing looks small on me. Like, I'm not able to wear this anywhere. Like, this go under my boobs, and that's where it ends. It's cute, but as I hate doing granny squares, I didn't feel like doing any more. So I just decided to leave it and maybe gift it to somebody who is deserving of a handmade knit and who is a small person, because like I'm quite tall and big and this doesn't fit me. So the construction, granny squares, I just showing them, and then I picked up like stitches with a knitting needle from the same number as the one that I used to make the crochet granny squares, and I just did some stockinette, and here some ribbing, here also 1x1 ribbing, and yeah, that's the pattern. As this is finished in a stockinette distance roll inside, which is not the nicest finish, but you know, I wasn't feeling like doing anything else because I was seeing that this was not going to fit me, so it ended up being like this. I love the color combination. It's super, I don't know, it's kind of peaceful. Like, it does look amazing together. It's a shame I won't be able to wear it, but I'm not doing any other granny squares. I don't know what yarn did I use with this, because I just had a lot of like random yarns and I decided to make this. It was like, maybe have labels, they were like scraps, most of them. And that's why I also didn't want to make any other granny square, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make as many as I needed, because I just have not that much yarn. So let's move to another project which was also free-handed, and it was this yoga mat bag. It was knitted also with macrame cotton, and as you mentioned before, I hated working with a crochet hook. So I thought that maybe if I knitted this, it will be different, but I also hated the process. This was completely free-handed, because even though I look for patterns, I didn't found as many. Most of the patterns to make a yoga mat bag were in crochet, not knitted, so I ended up like kind of designing this. The beginning it was like done flat. I think I did some garter stitch for some rows, and in every row I was adding more stitches until I got enough to like do this base. And then I showed this on the round, started doing stockinette, and I added some eyelets here and here and also here, so to make something different, and also to make this faster, because every row of eyelets I do think that it's like the holes make it like bigger, so I had to knit less because I wasn't feeling like knitting with big needles. I know it's super fast, but I think it's uncomfortable. I don't like it. The cord, this one, super nice. So that was something I learned. It's called a Viking cord. I hadn't heard about it before, but it's really strong. I thought about doing an I-cord, but it was kind of messy. It wasn't looking good. So I decided to switch it up, and yeah, it looks great. My mom has been wearing this quite a lot to go to her yoga classes, and I'm happy about it. And now let's jump to the last piece I made this year, the Easy Sleepover Vest by Subknits. Also another free YouTube tutorial. It's this one. I made this vest working with some yarn from a sweater that I had, from a store-bought sweater that I had, that I didn't like that much. So I was like, maybe I could wear that, I could use that yarn to make something nicer. This ended up being quite cropped, which wasn't my original plan, but I mean, I don't care. I think I will wear this a lot more than when it was a sweater, so I'm happy with the result. So I did some changes to this vest. One of them is that I did add more stitches because this came in only one size and, well, the original didn't fit me. So I had to do it bigger and I had to do some mats, which are always a risk when it comes to me. Even though I went to business school, I don't trust myself with mats. And I also finished everything with double knitting and Italian bind off because I like how it looks. It's a nice vest. I think I will be able to wear it quite a lot next winter, so I'm happy with it. So guys, that was everything I made this year. I'm extremely happy because I was able to do quite a few pieces which I will be wearing for a long time. I'm really happy that I learned a new skill, knitting, that I think I will be doing for a long time. I really appreciate being able to make my own clothes because I have like a really special relationship with them. And whenever I tell people, oh yes, I made this, people is like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I did it. Everyone needs external validation and that makes me happy, you know? I feel like all my pieces are really useful and I will be loving them for a long time. And that's something that I really want to do in 2024, is also to make more pieces which are long lasting, that are going to be great pieces, great additions to my wardrobe. I want to start investing a little bit more on the materials, so I make not only nice pieces but great quality ones, and I hope that they last like a long time in my wardrobe. I hope also to be able to upload more videos here and like create, I don't know if to say create a community, but to have somebody to speak with about knitting, because where I live I don't really have any friends who likes to knit, so I really look forward to that. And thank you for sticking to the end. Please have a happy holidays and a happy New Year's. I wish you the best and see you. Bye bye. Adios.